Hello. Hope everybody's doing alright today. I hope everybody's having a good New Year's Eve. If you are, and if you aren't, either way, Happy New Year's. Got a little bit of an update before we jump into today's episode. I want to make a statement out there. I'll be starting a recorded series this upcoming year for New World. Haven't decided a world name yet. Currently I'm debating on is bigger better. Sounds good. I like it. Sounds ambitious, you know? So that's probably what the New World name will be. If you got any suggestions, let me know. But it's gonna be more of a recorded format. Something I can cut down a lot of the boring aspects. Just so I can give a better content out there. I don't want to get rid of our Let's Play Live world, so I'm going to continue that. It probably won't be 5 days a week anymore. Just see, I didn't feel too good last weekend, so I didn't stream last weekend, but I want to try to get three live streams a week, but it may end up being 2 live streams a week. But if you catch my recorded Let's Play versions, there's a dog on that conveyor. I've never noticed that. Then let me know. Come join us. Hope you like the content. If you got any suggestions as far as to improve, or if I'm doing something wrong, please let me know. You know, I am new to all of this, but I wanted to get more of some edited content out there, give y'all something more entertaining to watch, maybe something more informational. You know, I've learned a lot in we're almost 3 weeks in on this Let's Play series. I've learned a lot. I really enjoy this game, so this New World is going to be our recorded series. Is going to be with us for this whole year of 2026. Well, let's make something great out of it, you know? We got a whole year. Why rush anything? You know, I really rushed through a lot of these milestones. You know, I kept wondering what was going to be next. Oh, what's the next thing we're going to unlock? Just a lot of stuff that I was just so eager about, and I kind of rushed through things. I don't want to do that for the recorded series, so we'll be taking our time. Like I said, we've got a whole year. We're going to keep that world for the entirety of 2026, and we'll see how far this Let's Play world gets. This will be the world we play in whenever I'm live streaming. You know, I've got to keep in mind of how I want to keep this world separate from the live stream. I don't think that'll be too difficult. You know, if y'all got some ideas, I'll put them in the world as best as I can. Just let me know what you got in mind. So this here is aluminum. It was up top here, remember? I kept saying, oh, it's temporary. Oh, it's temporary. Well, I definitely made some changes. Let's say that. Everything's gone. It's all now over here. We've got 24 water pipes from that little lake right there. Insane. And as you see, there's even more water. We could have more than 24 pipes, but I figured, you know, for a main base, 24 pipes is just fine. As far as the aluminum goes, you know, we needed the bauxite. I got 6 belts of 600 bauxite. I've got 3 belts of coal. 2 of them are 600 and one's a 300. It's currently not being used. I just brought it along in case we needed it. I got 2 rows of quartz. That one quartz right there is actually, it can be sharded, you know, power sharded up to 1200, but I do not have a conveyor that can do that. But this is our aluminum, our new and improved permanent version of aluminum, I should say. I've got 4 of the 24 pipes going into these 6 refineries here. It keeps it filled with plenty of water. You know, I didn't put no math to it, honestly. I couldn't find a way for it to break even into it. But these are power sharded up to 200%. And then right in here, this is all alumina solution. These are just fluid buffers that I put in while I was working on the rest of it. It's probably not even really necessary, to be honest with you. I just like using them because I like to see what color the fluid's going to be. You know, I wasn't expecting it to be gray, but gray it is. So our first refineries here are actually working with the alternate sloppy alumina recipe, which we unlocked just before the last live stream Let's Play. Just before, it wasn't the last one, but the one before. So we were on day 19. It was day 17. As soon as we ended that stream, I had one hard drive that we had started on that stream that I hadn't opened or unlocked yet, and that recipe ended up being sloppy aluminum, which is what we've got cooking up here in these refineries. And at the 200%, we're using 400 per machine, 400 water per machine, and we get 480 alumina solution. So our next set of refineries take the alumina solution and some charcoal in, and I'm using both 600 count of the belts here. See them? Boom. One goes right under. It just zooms in the middle here, and then it actually throws itself in halfway through, because these machines, it says 240 per minute, and just these 3 is more than 600. However, it's more than enough to keep up with it, especially once you let it get backed up to this point. And I'll show you. I'll hook them back up to the sinks out there because I've done a lot of testing. I've got some more explaining to do over there as well. But this setup that I've got here, oh my goodness. Definitely gave me a headache. But then again, I was overthinking it too much, you know. Yeah, I said quite a few videos ago that sometimes it's just easier for me to just do something and then kind of work it out as I'm doing it. You know, like I said back at the beginning of the series, I said I learn better by doing than reading or watching, you know, doing it, experiencing it. You know, that's the best way I've learned things, and this video is, or this aluminum setup I should say, is the best example of that. So you remember we got 480 coming out of each one of these refineries. This consumes 480 per refinery, right? So 6 refineries with sloppy alumina, 6 refineries making the alumina scrap. They're both set to 200%. The coal, it could use a tad bit more, but the belts can only handle 780, and the coal can only give me 600. It's just what we got to work with. So starting from there, all the alumina scrap comes down here into a splitter, one belt, but it gets split 3 ways. That is our 3 sets of foundries here. Think of it as a line through here, right? This refinery feeds this refinery feeds that foundry, and that one. So if you just wanted to make one setup of this, you know, 200% overclock, these foundries are actually 200% overclocked as well. This 200% overclock is more here just for the silica fact. If you bump it up more, you start getting back into decimals, and you could probably squeeze a little bit more out of this. But 200, I mean, if you're using a power shard, I figured might as well use it all the way. And if you put a third power shard in there only to give it 205%, you're wasting what, 95% of the third power shard? Why even mess with it in the first place? I don't know. So the quartz, both of these lines are 600 coming in. Each line of 600 is feeding 3 rows of 6 constructors, making the silica recipe at 200% overclock for 75 a minute. Each set of 6 constructors here is only feeding 3 of the foundries, because just one foundry requires 150. So 2 is 300 and 3 foundries is 450. I figured, hey, well, I got the quartz. What's the best way for me to split this up? Honestly, this is iteration number 2 as far as the silica production, because I tried load balancing everything here. Well, that did not go pretty. It did not end up well at all either. So, and I even had smart splitters here, because I figured, well, I'll let it back up into these machines and then send it on. Don't do that. You can use a regular splitter right here and right here. I really want to make a video on this just so I can have something to go back to know how to make this setup, because I'm most likely going to forget this within the near future. You know, by the time we reach this point on our new world, the recorded series, I'm probably not going to remember what does what here. It's going to be long gone in my memory. But each line, because I put out these conveyor throughput monitors, each line makes 720. Now, if you could get more quartz here, that would be great. But I couldn't. Like I said, one of the quartz nodes is a 1200. But I'm only able to carry 700 on a conveyor belt, and I want them both to be even. So even though I'm using Mark 5 780 belts, I don't want to put more on one belt than the other, so I let it be. But all this water comes from the alumina solution mixing with the coal. Out of that refinery that comes out, the alumina scrap that goes and carries on. See here, alumina scrap. When you run this second refinery, you make 240 water per minute. Now I didn't want to waste that water. I missed it. At least I got it with the second one. I want to use it for another set of refineries for I'm not quite sure if I want to use it on Caterium or copper, and I'm not sure how frequently those refineries would be running. So I split it up into 4 pipes, because as you see, we got 6 pipes coming out, and just like I got 4 pipes feeding those 6 refineries right up here, I wanted 4 pipes to feed 4 refineries, maybe even more, just depending on how much those refineries needed, because we are putting out 240 per refinery, and we got 6 refineries. That is quite a bit of water coming out of those buddies. Let me see here, 240 times 6, yeah, that's a lot of water. I don't know, that's what, 2 pipes and a quarter of a Mark II pipe, so that's a lot of water. I'm going to connect these back up and give y'all a quick little example of how everything's functioning. I enjoyed building this setup more than I did the temporary setup, and I feel like it's just more due to the fact that I had room. You know, I had room around here to build things. I never really split things up like this, above and below, I like it. Much more flexible. I was able to keep everything aligned. Let me tell you what, my OCD and these straight lines are happy. I absolutely love it. Even downstairs, these straight lines, all these conveyors are laid with straight conveyors, except for like these little swoops. That's curved, but at least curve gets you a smooth little flow. So as you see, one quartz belt feeds the bottom 3 sets of 6 constructors making silica. Then the other does the same for the top. Now they go, and they go fast. At a certain point though, like it's a lot of aluminum has to feed through, because we are 3 lines deep, and what was this, 36? No. Yeah, 6 times 3, that's only 18 foundries up here. But each 18 foundry can hold a stack, you know? And it slowly drains, you know? But it's always ready. Like, you just let it backfeed. Now this whole system set up right here, minus these 3 sinks, is like 1960 megawatts. And it's not too heavy on the power grid, at least I don't think so. Now everything here you see is 200% overclocked, so every machine has 2 power shards. But you'll see soon that these conveyor belts drop down to 740 a piece. Not 740. Yeah, 740 a piece. So it's only 780 because there's a built-up excess of aluminum ingots inside of these machines. But once that changes, you'll see the belts can maintain a 740. And that's really, like, I'm impressed. Like, if you split it up, it's 360. I think it was. No, it wasn't. Yeah, 380 or 360. It was something like that, because I had 6 lines. Like, I had split it up just like I did with a silica. You know, 6 for every 3 foundries. I split every 3 foundries to be in their own. Like, each foundry can do 120 a minute. We got 18 of these. So 18, not divide. We need times. 120. That's 2,160. Then if we divide that by, what, 3 belts? 720. Or if we divide it by 6, 360. So yeah, it was 360. So yeah, we can hold 720 even on 3 belts, or we can hold 360 even on 6 belts. Honestly, I enjoyed this whole factory setup and ordeal I went through. It was really a good learning curve. I watched a video by Kibitz, and he wrote in that aluminum usually is like the bane of Satisfactory players' existence. Like, this is the point where they'll break off, or they'll continue. You know, we're supposed to be jumping into atomic power, nuclear power, right? I have no idea what's about to come in with that. But if it's anything close to this aluminum, it's definitely going to take a while to get up and running right. Because I know for sure it ain't going to work the first time. Yep. That's a lot. Yeah, that's how I was testing it. Is just let it run right into the sinks. Honestly, I don't know what to do with all of this aluminum. It's a lot, and I'm not sure if what to make first. We only know how to make 2 things. And that's alclad sheet and alclad casings. Both of those need copper, so that's what I thought about using that extra water with, was the copper. using the refineries for the old pure copper. Yeah, pure copper ingot, I think is what they call it. Here, I'll pull it out real quick. Yep, right there. See, that only uses 10 water a minute. We got what, four belts, so like 600. That's a lot of copper. No, go back in there. Oh my gosh, that's only 25 water a minute. Okay, that's a lot of copper. I hear you need a lot of copper for the nuclear pasta. We ain't made it there yet. I don't know if that's something I even want to tango with at the moment, to be honest with you. Oh look, you can see the quartz is starting to split up. See, it's less and less that makes it to that end row. But even when it's there, it only drops down to being 720. Like I said, if you can get more quartz here, and you could split one line for two sets, split another line for another 2 sets of 6 constructors, and the same for the last 2 sets, it would flow a lot more easier. You could keep those foundries fed with the silica easier. Now there is a recipe for aluminum ingots that we got, but I didn't use. Oh, it's not here. It's probably in the constructor. Hang on. It's like pure aluminum or something like that. Wait, did I pass it? No. Oh, you know what? It's in the smelter. It's not even in those. Yeah, so in the smelter, there is a recipe for pure aluminum ingot, which cuts out the need for silica. But you get less. Like, remember, we're getting 120 at the 200%, right? 201%, and you're only getting 60 at 200. 75 at 3. I wouldn't even bother with it unless you just really didn't want to use silica. It is a bit of a mess. I will say that. But well worth it. The learning curve, once you get through it, phenomenal. Y'all give me just a moment. Yeah, so I'm just really unsure as far as what we should work on for today. I wanted to do some kind of train network, right? And I just I just learned how to do the Satisfactory calculator. That website is awesome. If you have a way of using it, definitely use it. I just barely broke the surface on it today, but by far wish I would have known how to use it and just in general known about it beforehand. So definitely highly recommended. Satisfactory modeler, not too good at, but that is also a good thing. It's more so, it's more good for if you have an objective, like you know what you want to make per minute, per item type of thing. It'll tell you what you need, how much of it you need. It's really awesome, and you can even put in your own items of what you have or want to use, you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, I've never moved a stack this big of pipes before. Really, not that bad. Not that bad. I think the most fun I had were these conveyor belts, these vertical conveyor belts. Absolutely had fun doing this. Just a bit of an advice. Use a solid block to put down these conveyor floor holes, then delete the block and then put the frame, big frame here. In other words, you may not be able to get all of the conveyor holes in. Same thing for the pipes. Use a solid before then. I was trying to use lights out here, so for when things did get dark, but my computer did not like that. No, it did not like that at all. So I downloaded Sky UI, and with this we have the power of the gods. We can change the time to any time we like, change the weather to whenever we like. You don't like the fog, you can take the fog away. It's quite nice. So let's figure out what we're gonna do with this aluminum. Definitely want sheets. Oh, you know what? Let's get the copper up here. Get it to run on the water. You know what? Let's go back to the jetpack. I have been loving the use of rocket fuel. Absolutely amazing. Thinking over here somewhere we'll bring up the copper. Let's see what's under door number 1. Holy crap. Yep, not door number 1. Let's try door number 2. Alright, I like it already. Oh, that's Caterium. All the copper is on that side, even from the train tracks there. I know we got those 3 resource nodes that are nearby that I could bring over here. Ooh. Yeah, I went 10 blocks between each floor. Really makes things feel empty. Why are things red? You have to have power, right? You don't have power? Why? Why no power? No, I don't know why you don't have power. Let's go down one more floor. The train station got power? Train station doesn't have power. That's not cool. You see the boost we got from that rocket fuel? Insane. Okay, give me power. Where do we want to go down at? Da 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 da. I tell you what, we're gonna go straight back to the source. I carried power down with these conveyors. This is the same light pole that powers all of my aluminum production. We'll carry this same pole down. Da 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 da. We'll put one right here. What do we think? Oh Lord. Oh wow. What's the black dots from? What is that from? Oh, it's the billboards. Duh. What are you doing? Yeah. So, I've been wanting to see a good movie lately, right? I ain't really decided on a good movie, to be quite honest with you. But however, I do love horror, very scary movies. I do like. Oh, grab a wire. I like mystery movies. I was a big Scooby-Doo fan. It's with me forever. Me and Scooby-Doo. Shaggy, I guess so. As long as Scooby-Doo wants him around, we'll keep Shaggy around. But oh yeah. I don't know what song is stuck in my head at the moment. It's not cool. Definitely not cool. Alright. Power taken care of. And excess water, it's here. A crap ton of water. What to do with it? I don't know. Don't know. If I keep doing this, we're gonna have holes all over the base. Not cool, bro. Not cool. Yeah, well, let's take a quick look at the refineries. Maybe we can find something. That's gonna use up our water. Rocket fuel. Copper sounds pretty tempting compared to the Caterium. It only uses 2 and 2, but copper uses 4 of the water. So stock recipe for the pure Caterium is only 24 per minute, copper 10 per minute. How does that even work? Please explain. 4 cubic meters of water is less than 2 cubic meters of water? That don't make no sense to me. Ooh. I mean, we don't really even need the copper sheets like that, so nope. But if we run copper up here, we could do the same thing with the copper sheets, just in case we get a big project with a bunch of pipes. We got pipes. Because we have plenty of Mercer spheres at the moment. What if we overclock? 250 decimals. Nobody likes decimals. Okay. If we go 246... could safely assume 55 of each. If we go 200%, we have round numbers. The Caterium, that's odd. 48. This one says 40, 20, what? But we get 75 a minute for 30 to 75. That's a pretty good 48 to 24. If we really need... See, the thing is, I don't have a strong need for Caterium right now. And the copper, I don't know how this is using less, especially when it says 4 cubic meters versus the 2. I don't get that. So Caterium will definitely use a lot of the water. As far as I know, there is 2 Caterium nodes out here. These green pastures of forgotten lands. But copper. Like I said, I heard we needed a lot for the nuclear pasta. I don't know. I know I definitely want to get our sheets made. I definitely want some copper up here for our production of those. But right now, all the copper, I'm pretty sure all it's doing is being turned into ingots. Pretty sure. Oh crap, I never hooked the power up. Wow. But yeah, if I just take my time, take what I've learned from this playthrough and incorporate it all into my recorded series, I feel like I could be a lot more organized, a lot more project oriented, especially since I won't be so eager to rush through things. You know, like I said, I always wanted to see what was next. What was going to be next on the projects, what was going to happen. I was always so ready. Never really stopping to just slow down. You know? I want to do that for the recorded series. I don't want to rush through it. Really pizzazz the world, not just, oh, look what's next. I don't know. I just better content, I guess so. Maybe I could even share what I've learned as of late. I feel like that would be good. Alright. I need to... Yeah, all these copper ingots, they're being used for... Well, you see it. Majority of them are going to scraps because I wanted to see how much copper ingots we could make, and it's a lot. Imagine all of that going through the refineries. That's even more copper ingots. That's a lot. That is a lot. So, I don't know what's in the agenda for today. May just be a catch-up episode, just so I can show y'all what's been happening. This right here is a drone port that carries our aluminum out to big ol' lake buoy over here where we got all of our fuel generators. I even set up a fabric and rubber drone port, and all of those drone ports are linked to our area out here back in the green pastures of forgotten lands next to our space elevator. I even, oh yeah, y'all haven't seen that. Let me take y'all back to the starting area. Like I said, how I liked this up and below. I really liked it. Right? You could work in the same area but have completely different things going on. None of it has to be tied to one another. It's beneficial. Ooh, hostiles. Let me see. Oh, can y'all see a difference already? We got 4 drone ports over here now. One's plastic, one's rubber, one's fabric, and one is just for go-go juice for over here. All it does is pick up rocket fuel. Boop. Ah, where's my rocket fuel? Sir? It says incoming. I don't know what's happening with the drone up there. Not too sure. But he flies. Dang, you can see it from here. He flies over there. Picks up our rocket fuel, brings it back, so I can keep these 3 drones here filled up with some rocket fuel. I can keep my jetpack filled up with rocket fuel. Allow me to show y'all what's happening back here. Alright, so this here It's still my original steel dimensional depot system, right? But I upgraded these coal, iron, and copper lines to be 600 each. Even this one here, it's a very bad iron deposit. We only get 300, but it's enough to top off the line if there was ever too much being taken away. So everything down here is copper, but this copper is a copper alloy, so it uses some iron with the copper to give us even more copper, which I didn't even know that was a recipe. But 250 copper ingots is insane, right? Unfortunately, we don't have something like that for iron, but iron's very, very abundant. So every one of these smelters is iron. Every one of these storage bins is iron. Ignore the belt that clips through the drone port. It never happened. Okay? It never happened. This here actually makes iron wire, which allows me to make the stitched reinforced iron plate, which gives us 14 a minute. That is freaking awesome. They go into here, which is fed by 2 constructors with the casted screws alternate recipe to give us 12.5 reinforced frames per minute. As you saw, 49 in. Come on, come on. And we are full. Full. So, what is this feeding anyways? Hang on. These frames are going to something. Yeah. They're going over here with the beams, the steel beams to make versatile framework, which this is even full. I've got cable and stators making automatic wiring over here. I figured I'd automate everything and anything I could. Just because why not? So I split the line that carries the stators. It goes here and over there. Rotors, I don't even know what's using rotors at the moment besides dimensional depots to build different machines. It's up top too, but it's being split and carried over here, and it's making motors. How many motors? Oh yeah, 12.5 a minute. This is standard motor recipe. As long as you keep it fed, it will produce. And when it produces, it produces. I wish I had done this from the very start. You know, like I've said about this new world. Hey, it ain't nothing but a thing. And this here feeds steel pipes. There is steel ingots that come into this foundry. This foundry makes the steel pipe, but it's the alternate molded steel pipe recipe. Then it gets split to 2 bins. This one is purely only steel pipes, but it continues on to this bin here in order to make stators, which then goes into this storage bin, which is still filling up at the moment. Once it fills up, it's going to backfill to this assembler, and then it'll backfill to this bin, and then everything will be sent to this assembler. Instead of being split one way or the other, it'll only have one path, which is giving us our alternate encased industrial pipe. So there's been a lot that we have learned in what, just about 3 weeks. That look at all them beams, you know. It's a crap ton. I've really enjoyed this game. It's a little bit outside of my norm for typical games I play. I don't know if y'all would remember or if I even said it on recording, but you know, I'm really big into survival games. I've never really played anything like this game here, and I typically have the monsters in passive while I'm doing whatever is needed, right? So it's not even like I'm trying to survive out here. I was just enjoying the whole building, the factory. It was good. I wanna elaborate on all of this. I want to keep everything we've learned and carry it over. And I've even thought about, my channel colors. It's lime green, and black. But does lime green really look all that good? As far as the building goes with the concrete, phenomenal. I love it with the concrete. But black, I just feel like lime green and black are kind of like some overused colors. I want something unique. Not just because my channel colors are lime green and black. I want it to look good. I like it. I like some things being lime green and black. So I've got to figure out a new world color. Maybe we leave everything default. My favorite color is orange. It's not even lime green and black. I like orange, but seeing the Sam in this game, that purple, that neon looking purple, if we could get something like that, that would be cool. Mix that with some white. I imagine that would look really good. Yeah, today's gonna be a little bit shorter of an episode. Like I said, we'll probably just spend some time catching up on everything. And then I've showed y'all everything except for way over there. But the only thing that's different over there are these drone ports. This one's supposed to be carrying Caterium, but I haven't even hooked it up to that area over there where I've been getting all my Caterium from. I am looking into some PC upgrades for this upcoming year. Hopefully the quality of my recordings and stream can improve, and I look forward to improving on my editing skills. I haven't recorded any of this gameplay. All of it is live. I've recorded Conan Exiles. I've recorded a little bit of Dying Light the Beast. I did a little bit of Harry Potter Hogwarts. There's a lot of things that my PC just did not like, and I hate it. I hate that I can't deliver the quality that I want to present to y'all. It's nothing bad, but nobody wants to see anything that's blurry or stuttering or I don't know. But that's gonna be it for today's episode. Just a bunch of ranting and catching up from me. Hope everybody's doing alright out there, and Happy New Year's, y'all. Take it easy out there. Take care now.